Hey, what's up, everyone? Today has already been a day. Let's just put it that way. Oh, fun. Okay. Part of me just wants to message SJ and see if he's ready right now for the discussion, and then just do a short stream today. But we should probably extend it out a little bit and just do some dailies to fill the time. Let me finish my cereal real quick, lol. Okay. Yeah, I've just been getting my ass kicked trying to set up this server for my Pokemon. For like my Pokemon server. And it's just been kicking my ass. So I'm already not in the mood for bullshit today, because I've already been dealing with bullshit. I'm just like, just let me go back to that. No, not Ravenstone. I'm just gonna go to Gane. I think we can just roll right into the discussion. My friends, I do a Final Fantasy book club review 1 through 10. Been totally done for weeks and they're still stuck on 5. What do you mean stuck on? You mean they get to keep playing 5? They haven't wanted to finish it? Yeah, because 5 is... Yeah, 5 is quite good. They hate 5, don't like the job system. Madness? Yeah, you're... Yeah, that's heresy. In terms of expectations, I would say 5 is the one that most exceeded expectations of the games I've played so far. Like, I was expecting 7, 8, and 9 to be good, but 5 was significantly better than I thought it was going to be. Do I remember how to do any of this? Probably not. Oh yeah, I can't. Here, let me go ahead and join. Okay, and I'll need to unmute desktop audio as well. Oh no, I need to add audio source specifically for Discord. Okay. That should hopefully work once SJ is ready. I should probably just do a daily right now. But I'll unwind for a little bit. At least I finally figured out something for the server I've been working on. Basically, the rules validation that I've been editing apparently doesn't change the UI. So the UI is still going based off of, like, default, even though the rules validation is working. And I only just now realized that they were separate and not... Like, the UI wasn't using the rules validation to update the UI. So that's fun. So I, like, at least now know what I need to fix. But now I have to go figure out how to do that. So it's just been, like, one thing after another trying to get this Pokemon server set up. It's been very demoralizing, I'm gonna be real. So... maybe we can get a... oh, wait. I'm not as high as I thought I was. We still gotta do this part. Maybe we can get a win today and get to the top of this for the first time. I got close last time we did one of these. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, I should really go check... what's it called? The island thing. Because I have not touched that since the last time we streamed. Last time we streamed 14. I just have not played 14 because I've been playing the other Final Fantasy games. But if we eventually want the Final Fantasy 3 Devout outfit, we need to do this. The mess of all my excuse me, all my minions. Okay, what do I... it's not the workshop. Which one do I talk to for... or is it just a... how does one do selling shit. I completely forgot. Because you're the one in charge. You're not the one... And of course, I filled this up, so now I don't... Actually, I haven't even checked on my plants or animals. Everything's going to be dead, huh? I don't remember that. Wait, where is... Up here. Okay. Am I supposed to be watering these? Thankfully, they don't disappear if unattended. Yeah. So does the sparkles mean they're ready? They're done? Does that mean I'm supposed to cull? Cull just makes it sound like I'm getting rid of them. Cull is destroy. Okay, it's gather. I figured it out. It's just a different color. Oh, I must select an item first. These things. We did something. Yo, what's up?
Is my shit actually working for the first time?
I think so, yeah. Your voice sounds good, and then the audio immediately went to the right levels. So I think we're good. All
right, I heard myself. I heard myself in the stream. So, wow, I'm surprised. This has never happened before.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. What does it mean when these things are shiny?
That means you can gather from them.
Oh, it is also gather here. Okay.
Yep.
Sanctuary Fleece. We did something.
I wish there were more content for the Island Sanctuary. Like, to be fair, I did no life it and spent probably 100 hours doing it. Yeah. So it definitely, like, it was enough. But I liked it so much that I wish that there was more.
Yeah. Yep. You spent 100 hours and still weren't done with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a full game, right? And I got it for free with free quotation marks for the cost of my sub.
Let's drop agenda.
But I mean, if you consider a sub as like an $11 game, then 100 hours is absolutely worth that price.
I don't remember what the fuck any of this shit means. What do I have a bunch of in my inventory? Yes, I know there's guides. I just want to get this started. Just build shit I can build, please.
If you match a type, it'll get a bonus and produce double the amount.
Yeah, I don't care.
The second one.
I'm just trying to... Bar butts and chairs. Let's go. Don't give a shit. Or give a small amount of shits. Yeah, so we're talking about Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9.
The golden age.
Yep. Definitely.
People often often lump 10 in as well, but I don't know. I think looking at 7, 8, and 9 as their own self-contained thing as the PS1 games, I think going by like platform makes a lot of sense, and they're thankfully in like 3 game clumps throughout the entire history. So,
yeah, no, I agree. It also means we get to talk about it now instead of in 2 weeks when hopefully I finish 10, and we'll see how I feel about that one. I'm definitely excited to get into it. But no,
spoilers, he gets really into Blitzball and gets stuck on that for a week. So it's going to be 3 weeks.
I don't know if I'll get as stuck on that as I did with Chocobo Hot and Cold, but we'll see.
I can say with extreme confidence that you will not.
I was, just as a tangent, because I was playing the Yuffie side story in 7 Remake yesterday and the day before. I was surprised there wasn't more for the for Condor.
Yeah, no, that's there is more, but it's not there.
It's not
nice little preview.
Oh, you mean it's in Rebirth?
Rebirth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Rebirth is chock full of mini games. That's why people spend. That's why Seiya was joking about 100 hours, and he's not wrong. Out of all of the games, aside from like 14 obviously has just infinite mini games in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, 14 is an MMO, so you can.
The mini games in Rebirth are of higher quality, so it's really easy to get sidetracked.
Yep.
Even Fort Condor, which sucked in 7. And is quite good in Intermission / Rebirth.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, it was. I'll be interested to see how different or how much they add. Because you did joke that I played the game for 1,000 hours. Yeah. I don't know if I have quite that much time in Clash Royale, but I have not played it in forever.
Well, I know there was a period where you said, back in the day when we were doing Board Game Club, that that you and your family played it daily with each other. So yeah, I figured.
Yeah, my dad and my dad's best friend still play it, so I still see it occasionally, but I kind of stopped playing after they raised the level cap. Because there's just kind of no reason to, other than money, it felt like.
Yeah.
Which,
oh yeah, for sure.
Is also the reason why I stopped playing the Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Yep. Destroys everything.
Yep.
That's why I love, sorry, I'm going to plug it because I have the opportunity with a whole 2 people watching.
Yeah.
That's why I play so much Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, is because their monetization system is so decent. Generous, it's like the only one. Like, I have paid literally nothing into that game. All I've done is like done dailies for gems and gotten gems and stuff. And I have like 3 competitive decks built. So, with like major staples. They like, I don't want to portray Konami as being super ethical, because they intentionally make the engine cards for every new deck ultra rares. But at least on Master Duel, they provide you with enough gems and wild cards to be able to get them.
Yeah,
it would be nice if they did that on Arena as well.
Jesus. There's a reason why I only draft on there. Which is funny, because now I have the wild cards to build whatever deck I want. I'm not interested in playing any format on there. Standard
is not good. I will say Timeless is actually quite good. Especially since they released Pact of Negation. It feels a lot more like Vintage. It is kind of oppressive, because like Strip Mine is at 4, for example.
Yeah.
And so a lot of games are just Strip Mine locked. But it's nice because for a long time, Oops All Spells was the only viable deck. And now that so like people had to play like main deck Surgical Extractions and stuff to be able to deal with that. Every deck had to have 4 Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
But now that Force of Negation is out, like there you actually see very little Oops All Spells.
Yeah.
If you snag the Dark Ritual, they're done for.
Yeah, it turns out free spells are kind of important in the... Like, free interactive spells are important in the Eternal formats.
Yeah.
Because otherwise...
Psychic Frog is a little oppressive, but, it is what it is.
It's crazy how good Psychic Frog is, and he's playing exactly one deck in Modern.
That's insane. Coming from the perspective of a Legacy player, and to be fair, like, Force of Will is what causes Psychic Frog to be absurd in Legacy and Vintage, but...
No, it is good in basically exactly Goryo's Vengeance.
Well, on top of Force of Negation being released, they also released Entomb on Arena. So, and Reanimate was already there.
Yep.
So now we have full powered Reanimator. So I've been doing a lot of EOT, Entomb, Reanimate Atraxa, Grief You, Reanimate Grief on turn 2. So,
well, they oh yeah, because you guys just have Reanimate, so you get to keep your creatures.
Yep.
Yeah, with Goryos, we end up ephemerating them most of the time to keep them. Because Atraxa digs you so deep for an ephemerate.
Oh yeah, no.
And all of obviously all of the evoke elementals are really good with ephemerate as well. And good with Atraxa, because like that's the thing you have to do is you have to actually draw cards to keep yourself alive. But no, in Modern, a lot of the times it's discard your Atraxa to Psychic Frog, Goryo's Vengeance, Atraxa, discard your hand to Psychic Frog to put your opponent on a 2-turn clock, and then ephemerate to get more cards.
Yeah. Speaking of the pitch elementals, I actually found that there was a Japanese-only secret layer where they did Final Fantasy reskins of all 5 of them: Grief, Subtlety, Endurance, all of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're for... I didn't know it either. They're for Final Fantasy X, so I'm going to have those to pull up when we...
oh, cool.
When we go into that next week. So,
well, then I won't look at them.
Don't. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah. Some of the ones that I had never seen before are now going to be my staples for that stuff. If I ever like get into paper Magic ever again, like I'm only ever going to use the VV Lightning Bolts, for example.
Yeah,
didn't know that existed. But like if I ever play, what's played in Legacy or Vintage out of those 5, if Endurance, for example, I'll be playing the one from that set.
Yeah, because you guys
Grief isn't legal in Legacy.
Yeah, it's not legal in Modern either.
It's too impressive. Reanimate is just absurd with that card.
Yeah, I mean, any way to recur it. Like, Reanimate's obviously crazy. I mean, we were playing the like 1 mana when a creature dies, return it to the battlefield.
Yeah,
effects. Just to be able to do that. Or, just ephemerate. And take
I will say this for
cards.
Wizards. We don't have a ton of data yet. However, my prediction that the One Ring and Kozilek's Command were going to be oppressive in Legacy is not playing out. So they actually might have known what they were doing by not also banning the One Ring. Although I will never stop harping on the fact that the One Ring absolutely should be eroded to be mechanically restricted.
Yeah,
it should be the only card in the game that is a one-of in deck. That is just the most obvious solution to that card. But it turns out the metagame is evolving, and that deck is just basically the same power level as it was before. Taking out Reanimator was not, and like the Nadu decks and stuff was not what was holding that deck back from being oppressive. So
it's here, right? I don't know if you're watching.
You have to go out a little ways. Yeah, you have to not clip the side of that beam, which is pretty tricky. It's not a fun jump.
Oop. All the way back down.
Oh, you almost had it. Almost had it.
Oh yeah, you're delayed by a couple seconds.
Yeah. I am, yep. Yeah. I heard you go oop, and I was like, oh no. I know the future.
Yep. Well, anyways, we should actually probably talk about
absolutely.
Why I'm still streaming today instead of just being like, fuck it, no stream today. So I can...
Nope. This is just turning into a yap session.
Obsessively code. I mean, isn't that all podcasts? It's just a yap session?
Basically. Yeah. Okay, so we have done a thing, or I should say I have done a thing, and I am subjecting Spring to it, which is we have our ever-expanding list of things to rank. And the reason for that is because the games become more complex as time goes by. The new category that's being added this time is non-combat gameplay, because in the first 6 games, there was no non-combat gameplay. The only game that was in there beyond the plot was just combat. There weren't really any mini games. And with 7, 8, and 9, there's an increasing number of non-combat things that you can do.
Yep.
And so that category is going to become extremely relevant from this point forward into all the rest of the games, as mini games become a core part of the gameplay. The Final Fantasy identity. Exactly. Yeah, which is good. It shouldn't just all be combat.
There's a reason why the Magic the Gathering set had a cycle of side quest cards.
Yep. I think we've seen like 3 out of the 5 of those. Maybe.
I think so.
I can't really remember. I know we haven't gotten to the 15 one.
Which is Catch a Fish.
The card collection. Yeah. Card collection for 14 we've already seen.
Yep.
Oh, we haven't seen the Final Fantasy X one yet either. Yep, so 3 out of 5.
Yeah, not played Blitzball yet, which we will do.
Yep. Everybody's waiting with bated breath on that one.
At least
a fairly infamous side game.
Yep. Oh, infamous.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not know
that. There are many mini games that are extremely well regarded, like Triple Triad
is not one of them.
and then there are mini games like Blitzball.
Yep.
So I think it's fine, but we'll see. All right, so that means that our new set of categories, just reviewing the previous times that we've done this with the new insert, the first category is going to be combat gameplay. The second one's going to be non-combat gameplay. So specifically combat gameplay, we're going to talk about the feel of the combat, but that's also going to include the UI as well. And we can have like main menu UI in there as well, especially because of how menu-y the games in this particular block are, and the menuing has to do specifically with the combat. Non-combat gameplay is going to be the mini games and any side quests in the overworld. Then we're going to go into the lore/plot section, which has 2 categories: lore and world building, and plot and themes. So the first category, lore and world building, is all of the backstory and any of the like visual storytelling that doesn't have to do specifically with the narrative plot. Whereas with plot and themes, it's going to have to do with the dialogue and the actual narrative of the game, the core conflict and all of that.
Christ.
Then we have the characters, and characters is kind of tricky to separate from plot/themes. So you're going to have to consider characters for plot/themes, because plot, of course, happens on characters. But the characters category is more so going to be looking at the characters independent of that, looking at them as individuals divorced from the narrative. What are their personalities like? What are their quirks like? And things like that.
I feel like that's going to be the
regardless
hardest
of what the narrative
category.
Yeah. There are a lot of really good characters in this section.
Yeah.
I think that's what defines this set more than anything else, to be honest.
Yeah.
Then we're going to get into vibes, which is sort of a cheat category. It's just like the feel of the games. Any extraneous or meta things that we have to do with it, like if there's any problematic things, if there's any thing where the game just feels really good, independent of any of the other categories. and then we'll do an overall. And then we usually have a bonus category, but because this is the golden age, the really good ones, I may have gone a little overboard, and we may have 5 secret categories. So,
oh God, yeah, this is news to me. So,
yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Okay, so you ready to jump in?
Yes.
Excellent. So we have Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. 7, as to let the audience know, is going to be OG 7.
Yeah.
Only. No consideration given for remake or rebirth.
Yep, I have not played Rebirth, but I will try my best to not include my love of remake in my
7 remake
opinions
is so
of
fucking
7.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So much better than any of these games.
Yep.
Okay, so our first category is combat gameplay. How does the combat system and also the UI surrounding that? So, like, how does the materia UI / the junction UI, how does all of that rank for you?
Well, I think we're starting with UI. 9 is definitely the best of those. Like 7 wasn't especially egregious, but it was like definitely missing some key quality of life things. And then 8 had those quality of life things, but also was like way more complicated. It was way more complicated on the like number of stuff in the UI, and it was more like spread out, I want to say. So like,
there's a reason why Junction is the most infamous battle system in the series.
Like, the Junction system's cool, but like I spent 2 hours off stream, like in one sitting, figuring out my builds for like the final part of the game. Like, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy that, because I did, but it was definitely a little much, and is only saved by the fact that you can swap, which was missing in 7. The ability to just quick swap loadouts was really helpful for that. But like, moving on to the combat, like the fact that it is so easy to swap the abilities and everything, like the entire build in 8, almost makes it feel like the actual characters don't matter in combat, with the exception of Squall, because Squall's limit break is kind of broken. But other than that,
their only identity is limits, and that's it.
Yeah, the characters don't really have combat identity. Like, clearly they're modeled after different jobs, like Keestis is a blue mage. I assume Selphie is just black mage or like red mage, like, because she kind of just does all the magics. Like, there isn't really a distinction between black magic and white magic in 7 and 8. It's a little bit weird of a distinction.
I think red is probably the best descriptor for her.
Yeah. But, and then obviously introduced Gunbreaker for Squall, which definitely aesthetically one of the best jobs in Final Fantasy.
For sure.
I don't know, I feel like I got sidetracked there. No, what am I supposed to be saying?
Ranking combat / main UI, combat UI.
Oh my god. So, combat-wise, I think I have to put 9 the highest, but it's hard. Because, like, the 9 combat definitely felt slow and a little clunky at times, but the 7 and 8 combat felt, I want to say, more repetitive. Partially because there isn't a whole lot of like with the materia and junction systems, being able to kind of make the characters however you want, you never really end up in a situation where you're having to do more than just the build that you have, whereas in 9, with the rotating cast and the fact that they kind of like force you between the cast members pretty late into the game even, like the combat doesn't feel repetitive because you're constantly switching between characters and the characters are mechanically unique. But then the speed of it is like the biggest detrimental factor, so it makes it feel not as good. Like the 8 combat felt really good, even if it was janky as fuck at some points. God, how do I rank these? Given would you say, I'm looking at chat from Sayo, would you say 9 is evocative of 4 in that way? Yeah, I would almost say 5 or 9 felt a lot like 5, weirdly enough, even though 5 doesn't have a rotating cast of characters. The job system and the desire to level up the job system because it's so cool also kind of created that feeling of constantly changing your playstyle. Whereas even in 4, the jobs are a lot simpler. So they didn't feel as like unique. There's definitely some of that, but like 4 had what, like 3 black mages, something like that. Like a lot of characters, like Tella kind of has both black magic, white magic, but you kind of see where I'm going with that. I hope.
Well, never brought it up before this because you hadn't finished it at that point, but I made a lot of comparisons between 2 and 8. I called 8 the spiritual ancestor of 2.
Yes,
and so I kind of feel like
definitely feel
2
that.
and 8.
Yeah, and then 9 definitely. Yeah, like functionally, 3 black pages. Yeah, because 7 felt more like 4. Whereas 9 definitely feels like a combination, like a lot of inspiration taken from 1, 3, and 5 specifically.
I agree with that.
Geez, how do I actually rank these in terms of combat? I think by default I have to put 7 last. Because I feel like 8 is just better than 7. But comparing 8 and 9 is weird. I think I have to give it to 9 just because of how much fun doing... Well, I was going to say, like, doing the blue magic stuff, getting the summons, like, all of that's super fun in 9. But, like, I also just kind of ignored it card mod in 8. So that might be playing into it some. Because I definitely played, like, on rails and then eventually just Squall, Limit Break, Go Burr. Which, don't get me wrong, Squall, Limit Break, Go Burr is fun. But I think I have to give it to 9. Partially just because the equipment system and the leveling up the abilities felt so good in 9. Although, if we could do the ATB mechanics of 8 with the combat systems of 9. So, like, pausing the ATB timer while animations are happening, and making the ATB timer quicker, as well as speeding up some of the extraneous animations. Like, can we just make auto potion? If you have multiple characters with auto potion, can they please just all proc at the same time as one animation? like, there's some stuff you could do to fix 9, and then I would be like, oh, that's the best, but either something is wrong or you're dropping packets. Am I? I think it might be you, because my stream says healthy. Are you...
If you're going to continue to do ATB, I think just doing it the way the remake has done it is the way to go.
Certainly for a more modern game. I mean, I like the ATB system, especially in 5. But yeah, I understand for as the games get more modern, remake is like definitely does it best.
Yeah, well, I'll asterisk that in that I've said this a number of times, but if you're going to go turn-based, then I think Expedition 33 is like the pinnacle of that. So I don't know.
I've not played
Maybe they'll figure out something cool. Yeah. Maybe they'll figure out something cool for 17. We'll see.
We'll see how my opinions change once I actually get around to playing Expedition 33. That'll be interesting, because I am already know when I play Expedition 33, I'm not going to accept any backseating for that. Like,
yeah,
for the early Final Fantasy games, it's nice to be able to go through and like make sure I actually experience everything. Expedition 33, if I miss something, chat has to deal with it.
Yep.
Because I want to experience that game as organically as possible with how new and like more modern it is than most of these games are playing.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely has modern design, so not needing any form of backseating is like it's not as on rails as a more linear game. Like say like Final Fantasy 13 is a great example of that. Once you get to that, you'll see very, very linear. Impossible to get lost. Mm-hmm. So it's not like that. However, they use modern design to make it so that you're never like don't have something to do, and it's never.
That's like my point is like I actually trust the designers of Expedition 33.
Yeah.
To like have the systems in place to make sure the player doesn't get lost or miss shit. That's important. Whereas older video games just haven't learned everything yet, or learned the best way to do some of it.
You have to remember that there's a random ass NPC that you need to go and talk to who tells you that you have to take the Levinstone to the desert.
Yep. I mean, that's not even the one that pissed me off. It was having to go find the person to translate the Rosetta Stone.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that was the one that really pissed me off. Let's see if Twitch behaves better, hopefully. Damn.
So you said for combat gameplay / combat UI, 9, 8, 7, but that it's tricky to choose between 9 and 8?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. Honestly, I might still choose 5 over all of them, but like I'm not kidding. Fair. 5 I have nonstop thought about the combat system in 5 since playing it for like the past 2 months. It's just been in the back of my mind.
I have a feeling we're actually going to quite like 11 when we get to it. Because its combat system is modeled. My understanding is that the combat system is modeled after 5 fairly strongly. So,
yeah. Okay, what's the next category?
Well, I did have to do my quick ranking on that as well.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah, I care about your opinions
close
too.
To the
and
I'm sure. Close to the same. I have a soft spot for 8, of course. Everybody is well aware at this point that I am an 8 simp. It's my favorite of the non-MMO Final Fantasies, for sure. That's kind of wrong in that I think we'll get to 7 Remake and Rebirth, which I think is just one of the best video gaming experiences that exists. But out of the traditional Final Fantasies, 8 is definitely my favorite. I quite like the junction system a lot. totally understand why people are confused by it and why a lot of people find it extremely tedious. Totally understand. But the way that I play 8 with doing the card game and modding the cards and all of that just feels so good. So for me, it's very similar 897. The little edge given to 8 because of how much I love card mod.
Yeah, we'll see.
So then
eventually do another playthrough of 8.
There should be a full AI upscale of all field backgrounds coming out relatively soon, so that would facilitate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then the second category we have is the non-combat gameplay, which is the new category for this episode. This is all of the mini games and also any of the overworld or open world side quests that are not related to combat.
Yep. This one's easy. 987.
Yeah.
Chocobo Hot and Cold. You can just look at my playthrough of 9 and know that Chocobo Hot and Cold was my shit, because I spent almost half my playthrough just doing that.
We did like 2 straight streams of just Chocobo Hot and Cold, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like we unlocked it, which was like half of the first or second stream. Like the second half of it was just, oh, now this is the stream now is doing Chocobo Hot and Cold. And then, I had like 2 back-to-back streams of just finding everything and unlocking everything. And doing the MSQ was in service of unlocking more Chocobo Hot and Cold.
Absolutely.
And then Triple Triad is good, even if I didn't play it.
Heresy. But also fair.
What's heresy? Oh, not playing it is the heresy part of it.
Any thoughts on 7?
I mean, I did the Chocobo breeding, but that was I just needed a guide for that, basically. I'm glad I did it, so I got to see Knights of Round, but it was fun for a stream to talk to chat, because that definitely devolved more into an AMA session.
People got very excited about guiding you through that. Not as as animated as they got about Triple Triad, where people literally lost their minds.
Oh my god. Well, because I also had never played Triple Triad up to that point, so I was definitely making mistakes that...
Play it in the center! Play it in the center! I could hear them sweating through the...
oh my god.
Through the internet.
AMA has asked me anything. Also, what's up, Dakota?
So an easy 987 for you, huh?
Yep.
Sadly, I have to agree. As much as I love Triple Triad, I'm a huge fan of Triple Triad. And you made a comment that I was thinking about, where you said if you're going to play a card game, you might as well play a good one. And I could sort of agree with that, in that, like, if you're going to spend a bunch of time playing a card game, why not play like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or something like that?
Yeah,
I think is a fair assessment. However, there's something about the simplicity of Triple Triad. It's like, my thought was like, why would you ever play Onitama when you can play a Euro? And generally speaking, that's going to be the case. But sometimes I just want to dig real deep into a simple game.
Yeah, I think part of that comment is more so strictly video games, because like it is different when you're hanging out with someone playing a board game. Like, I'd be way more interested in playing like IRL Triple Triad with someone than playing it in a single player game where like that progress is basically going to be doesn't matter after I'm done playing the game.
To answer Dakota's question, I believe that the only official card game that they've printed IRL is Tetramaster from Final Fantasy IX. That was an extremely short print run and very hard to find. However, if you go on BoardGameGeek.com, there are print and play versions of Triple Triad from 8, Tetramaster from 9, and also Queen's Blood from 7 Rebirth. All of those are available on Board Game Geek. They exist, fan-made versions of them. So, yeah, I agree. I love Triple Triad. Love it. However, Chocobo Hot and Cold is just so good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of criticisms of 9. However, the non-combat stuff in that game is chef's kiss. Beyond Chocobo Hot and Cold, the exploration of that world is just so much fun because there's just so much to see.
Yep. Yo, Saya with the re-up on the Prime sub. Thank you. Really appreciate it. What'd you say?
Yeah, there is a Final Fantasy trading card game.
Yep. I mean, do they
we
still
actually
make
have
it?
played?
Yes, I have actually played the DCG, which is really funny TCG... for it to exist alongside the Magic crossover at this point.
Right. Yeah, the Final Fantasy TCG is much more popular in Japan than it is in the United States, but there's still a pretty dedicated following in the United States. They still hold large events and stuff. It's pretty good. It's a Magic clone. I would say it's like, have you played any of the Bandai games like One Piece? If you have, it's sort of a crossover between Magic and like One Piece, kind of. So, it's good.
Are you supposed to be doing this crazy climb? Yeah, we're in 14. This is the infamous, or maybe just famous, jump puzzle that I am doing as to have something on the screen while we're talking. And
I've
never done this before, so yeah. Yep. No, exactly.
You got so close one of the times. So close.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm also talking while doing this, so it certainly doesn't help. There is fall damage. I just have the UI turned off, and the fall damage doesn't kill you in this game. It just brings you down to 1. So it is actually dangerous to take fall damage if you're in a place with monsters, because they could just like pick you off if you fall into a group of them.
You get one-tapped by anything if there's something close.
Yep. But we're in a city area, so we are fine. Yeah, there's only is there 1 or 2 ways? I think you can do it with Blue Mage.
Only one way up this one. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the jump puzzle.
No, I meant to die in the city. Is it just the Blue Mage explosion?
Just Blue Mage.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's also possible to die from fall damage specifically if you're in combat. Maybe you can target
you have like a dot on you.
Yeah, a dummy.
Oh, in a city? Oh, I don't know how you'd even do that.
I know. Anyways, where were we?
9, 8, 7 on non-combat.
Yep.
The Chocobo Hot and Cold trumps everything. I will say for 7 has the most mini games, and I appreciate them trying. I appreciate them blazing a new path. They all of a sudden had a ton more memory, memory to store their game in, versus the SNES cartridges, and they used it to experiment. Unfortunately, just all of the mini games in 7 are bad.
Yeah,
it's just a case of not figuring it out yet.
They're mini games, not games. Whereas Chocobo Hot and Cold and Triple Triad are just games.
Yep. Then our third category is the lore and world building category. This is divorced of the narrative, the main narrative, the backstory of the world, and the overworld things that you can find that don't have to do with the narrative specifically.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure all of the cool stuff about 7's lore kind of has to be included as part of the main story. Like with all the like hints about Genova and the experiments and all of that stuff is kind of main story stuff, and not like, even if it's stuff you have to go out of the way to find, it's main story stuff. And if that's the logic we're going based off, then 8 blows them out of the water. Both 9 and 7 for this category.
Totally agree.
Good luck divorcing your opinion from remake. Yeah, no, there
mean,
really isn't
if we consider
much
remake, then get fucked. But
yeah, there really isn't
OG.
much in 7 OG that because like all of the like exploring and cool shit you can find like is all related to Sephiroth basically, and like Hojo's experiments and all of that stuff, which is really cool and like definitely worth going out of your way to find. But it's not like 8 where there's just side characters that you can just never learn about, but they have their own story there, like with Zell and the library committee. What's her actual title?
Girl with the pigtail.
Yeah, the girl with the pigtail. And like, I would consider a lot of the, like, obviously the stuff with losing memory because of the GFs, that does play a part in the story, but I wouldn't say it's like a major player in the story. Other than the scene, like everyone coming together, but like the main story is definitely dealing with Ultimecia. But yeah, so like clearly 8 is in first. I don't know, what is there in 9? I feel like I just ignored everything that wasn't in service of Chocobo Hot and Cold when it came to exploring the world.
Well, let's see. A lot of it is also just like random areas that exist independent of stuff. So like what I was thinking for with 7 is like there's that like random snow village where you do the snowboarding, and it's kind of cool that there's just these people that are randomly living up in the tundra. That's a kind of cool little world building thing. With 9, a lot of it's just like Chocobo Hot and Cold stuff, like the existence of Chocobo Paradise.
I guess like that, the whole thing with the Mognet, which I did look up, kind of what the story is there. But honestly, I'd probably still give it to 7 over 9 for... It's like the world building. I don't know. I don't know how to rank them other than 8 is goated when it comes to hiding like small little lore tidbits. Oh, the fucking the like blog from Selfie, like that was fucking amazing. Like yeah,
Timber Maniacs seeing all the places Laguna had gone.
Yeah, no, exactly. Where like they obviously help the main story, but they're not directly tied to the main story. Like you can understand the plot of the story without knowing all the shit that happened with Laguna and like piecing that together. But like piecing that together makes it feel like much more of a complete world, and is why I think both of us agree at this point that 8 desperately needs a remake.
Yeah,
because
very much
people are going to actually appreciate it in a post Dark Souls Hollow Knight world.
Yeah, I completely agree. Did you have it 879 or 897?
I think 879, but I'm gonna let you go, and you might convince me to flip 7 to 9. I don't know.
Yeah. I completely agree with you on 8 being not even remotely close to the top here. A big thing about it is that 8 actually has a creation myth within their story, which is a huge deal. 7 and 9, we don't know anything about the origins of the world or anything like that. We don't know about any mythologies. Outside of 7, knowing that there's like an alien race that came to live there, and then there was another alien that crash landed on it. All of that is part of the narrative. And that's quite strong, but it is directly tied to the narrative. Whereas the creation myth of Hein creating humans and then the humans killing him and him creating the sorceresses, none of that is specific. Like, none of the succession of witches is relevant to the end of the game, but like none of that is actually relevant to the plot. It's just cool stuff that you can find in the world.
And like the in-world characters don't even understand how the succession of witches work.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I'm pretty sure there's just areas where you get fed misinformation because the in-world universe characters don't completely understand it.
Because respond to Dakota really quick. If you're not going to play them in order, 10 is probably the best possible starting point. I highly recommend getting 10 if it's on sale and if you're interested. So, but
yeah.
Yep, totally. It is also, it's funny. There are 2 Final Fantasies that are extremely linear, one of which is praised for it, and one of which is
bemoaned for it,
degraded for it.
Yeah.
10 is pretty universally lauded, even though it is extremely linear. But it's linear in a good way. And then 13 is pretty universally criticized for being linear.
Too linear.
So, but 10 is very good. Yeah,
I'm really interested to get the 13 just to kind of like understand the opinions of it.
13 is over criticized, and keep in mind that a fair amount of that hate is just incel boys hating that there's a woman
like,
main character.
That's like,
as always happens.
I've always been interested in like learning about lightning specifically, because I'm sure I will like lightning a lot more than public consensus may have you believe. But
Lightning has character flaws, and I'm not going to pretend like she doesn't, but they're character flaws that are shared with a number of other Final Fantasy protagonists, and people don't give a shit because those are men. So I get pretty annoyed by that kind of stuff. That said, 13 it's very linear. We'll see when we get there. It has flaws.
Yep.
6 does. And the thing with 6, though, is that it was intentionally designed so that there aren't really true main characters. Like Sakaguchi very specifically said he wanted to make a game where anyone could pick any one of the characters and say that's the main character, because I identify with them. The 2 that don't really make sense for that are the 3 are like Mog, Gogo, and Umaro. I guess Gogo and Umaro, they don't have any character, but like any of the others, you can say that's my main character. But yeah, I mean the 2 lead characters are for sure Terra and Celeste, but
yeah,
they don't. It's an older game. They don't get as much characterization as the newer protagonists do.
And they are also just treated very poorly in that game.
They are, yep. So. Yeah, I agree. 8 is incredible when it comes to lore and world building. I actually rank 9 above 7 just because I think that the individual cities that you go and visit are a little bit more interesting.
That's fair.
Like Trino, the Dark City, like a city that's always in the dark, and so there's a lot of criminals that live there because it's always dark.
Because we were just talking about 6. 6 has that city of like all of the criminals. I like that the city with all of the criminals in 9 also has all the rich people, and are just making the implication that all of the rich people are also criminals. They're just
exactly
rich people.
That's the way you do it.
Like, that's actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, every time we were in Treno, or not every time, but like once I realized what Treno was, I was like, oh, this is just way better than that city in 6.
There is zero build up to Celeste being talented at singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 7 has some interesting locations, like the snow location is kind of interesting, but all of them are kind of serve like narrative purposes. There just isn't a whole lot to see outside of the NPCs that move along the plot.
Yeah.
Whereas with like 8, there's just so many interesting places that have literally nothing to do with the plot. Shumi Village, so interesting. Like the fact that Laguna was there and they're making a statue of them, their whole culture. None of this has to do with the plot, but it's like it's there and it's super interesting. Yeah. And that's like only one of a number of places that are like that.
It's yeah, like the world in 7 exists for the plot, whereas in 8 and 9 the world exists and then the plot is put on top of it. Whereas I feel like 7, it was the reverse. It was like, okay, we need this area for this plot point. We need this area for this plot point. Yeah, I think you've convinced me to put 7 over it. Or 9 over 7.
9. I forgive them in that they had just come off of 6 games where that was all they could do because of memory storage issues. And so they were still learning. And 7 is incredible in its own ways. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, but the plot is phenomenal.
I'm pretty sure the next category is the one where 7 wins.
Yeah, but they were just figuring out how to make a rich, thriving world. Like the precedent just wasn't there at that point.
Yeah.
So I think they discovered it in 8. So that brings us to that category. Our 4th category is plot and themes. This is specifically the narrative that occurs within the story, the conflict for the main characters, how they interact with the villain, and what is happening in the story.
This is a pretty easy 7, 8, 9 for me, I think. Like it's easy. Like this is the order I'm saying. It's still close, I would say. But like the actual story of 7 and the Cloud being a what was the word for it? Unreliable narrator. Is that the
yes,
the phrase I'm looking for? Yeah,
very much so.
And just the whole story with Sephiroth, with Genova, with like all of that is just so good. That being said, phenomenal. While I think the like overarching plot of 9 isn't good, the like subplot of Vivi questioning what it means to be human is excellently done. And then agreed. 8, I feel like a lot of what's great about 8's story is the world building with it. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the whole love story with Squall and Renoa is very well done. I don't know how to make comments on that. Like, also trying to not fall off on this. Yeah, no, what am I trying to say about 8? I like the reveal of it being a time loop. And like that's why there's actually 2 sorceresses at once, is because of the time loop.
I could hear your mind being blown in real time as Ultimecia showed up at the orphanage in the past.
Yeah, no, like, that is mind-blowing, but I think the reveal of Cloud is more mind-blowing.
Agreed. Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving it to 7. And then 9 has good, like, individual moments and subplots. Like, the ending sequence of 9 did actually make me tear up, and I don't know if I did during 7 and 8.
Heresy.
Because, well, part of it is that in... No, I think I did tear up during the ending of 8.
It's really hard for me to get through Laguna at Rain's grave. Like, when he flashes back to asking her to marry him, oh my god, that annihilates me every time.
Yeah, I don't think I, like, fully understood what was happening there. I think if I watched it again, I probably would tear up. Now that I kind of, like, have been able to fully understand everything that happens there. But, like, for 7, the big emotional moment I was spoiled on. Like, it's basically impossible to not be spoiled on it at this point.
Right.
I'm sure Rebirth... I'm assuming it happens in Rebirth.
No comment.
I assume if I have to go through that in Rebirth, it will make me cry, even knowing it's coming. But, like, I think at this point...
the most cryptic thing possible to that?
No, don't add anything to that.
Maybe kind of. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So... I mean, I like started tearing up during Remake when Avalanche was dying, so...
Oh my god. Yeah.
So, like, I'm sure I'll get wrecked by Rebirth. But, like, as far as not Remake Rebirth games go, I think I've cried 3 times. And it's been the ending of 9 because of the feel-goods.
Yeah.
Just like
Vivi's heartbreaking farewell letter.
Yeah, the farewell letter, the like the friendship moments, like that made me cry. I think the ending of 8 did get me, but like in a it's over kind of way. And then like actual side tears is Gal of Stefan 5. It's like I think that's the total so far. There's a bit of a tangent.
Yeah. Okay, Galuf. You said Gao. I'm like, when did Gao die? Oh, 5. Yeah, Galuf.
Yeah, Galuf dying in 5. That
yeah.
Specifically, Kryle's reaction to it did make me tear up.
Yeah.
That moment was very powerful. Which is interesting because that was
7...
actually halfway through a game and the other 2 are the game ending.
Yeah. 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
But wanting to give special shout out to Vivi's existential journey and the incredible ending of 9.
Yep. And 8 already got the world building award, so that's the asterisk on 8.
Yeah, my ranking is the same, 7, 8, 9. And this one's a little more... This one's reluctant for me. It's not reluctant. I am very firm on 7, 8, 9. It is a little bitter for me. Because I think that setting aside my love for 8 and everything, I do think that the best micro story in the entire series, literally every single Final Fantasy, is Squall X Rhinoa being the culmination of a generational culmination of the lost love of Laguna and Julia.
Mm-hmm.
That blows me away. Like, you have the Romeo and Juliet style story with Laguna and Julia separated by the war. They both find their own thing, and then their children find love. Is such a powerful romantic story to me. I adore that.
I think there wasn't enough of a spotlight on that, honestly. Like, I don't think...
I mean, it's very possible to just miss that Squall is Laguna's son. It is possible to miss it.
Right, and it's... You like, I kind of needed you to explain to me all of those, like, pieces together, which is why I say the 8 remake needs to happen, because I think that will wreck a lot of people if it's, like, spelt out more explicitly.
Yeah.
Like, not literally say it, but, like, make the individual pieces more clear.
Definitely. So that generational love story, the romance...
like, get more than just the one cutscene with Julia. Yeah. Is a big thing. Like, we need more of that so we can see the war actually separating them more than just that one time of them trying to going into the hotel room together.
I will say that was the original intention. The original storyboard for 8 had the game 50-50 split between present and past. So, like, the intention was to play Squall 50% of the game and Laguna 50% of the game. And that ended up getting cut back for memory reasons and for time reasons, because it was already a long game, and that would have made it 30 hours longer. Yeah, no, I wonder how, like, maybe not literally 50-50, but I could definitely see like 30-70 or even like 40-60 and just more potential Laguna. More Laguna. Like, absolutely, more Laguna is honestly probably the best criticism of 8's story, right? Need more Laguna. Yeah, I mean, people are very critical of Ultimicia's plan, like the time compression of that being confusing. I actually think it's fine. It is a little muddled. It's definitely more muddled than like the simplicity of like Sephiroth wanting to destroy the planet and ride its chunks to another star. I think I said this, but I think you could very easily change it slightly to be time compression, where all of the sorceresses that have existed can kind of like coexist together without humans. I think you could definitely like write in that little bit of detail, and it makes the motivation make like perfect sense. Yeah, Ultimacia has a lot of potential. Even more than just nihilism want to end the world being like an understandable human emotion, even if it's illogical. And like, I mean, that's kind of like the whole thesis of Final Fantasy, right? Is that that's not a good outlook to have on the world. But like, definitely write Ultimacia as a person who sees the world as us versus them instead of all of us together. Yeah, I think the primary antagonist and the deuteragonist, like the main and the secondary, probably the biggest criticism of 8 is that both of them are undervalued by the writing. Yeah, and what's his name? Cypher. Cypher got fucking shafted with the end of the story. Yeah, there's evidence to show that he got a lot of his parts got cut out in the Great Laguna culling as well. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, like, I think Cypher was a pretty... there needed to be like 2 more scenes. Like, one more very explicitly saying why he is so desperate to be the Sorceress's Knight, and another cutscene like at the end of him like actually learning the same lessons Squall has learned throughout the story, like actually valuing his friendship with Raijin and Fujin, right? Those are their names? Yeah. The friends he doesn't deserve based on his current characterization. Yeah. No, like, literally, the scene of him destroying Odin was peak. I almost feel like that fight
shouldn't happen, and he should step down when Raijin and Fujin like confront him.
Yeah, that scene also got neutered a little bit by not having voice acting. In that, Fujin breaks character. Like, she's only ever said single words in all caps up to that point, and then at that moment, she chooses to monologue and actually speak normally. And it's like it's possible to just miss that that's even happening because it's all written. And I think if you had good voice acting, where she like you could for really, the first time actually revealed.
Yeah, you could really play that up.
Yeah. So, I agree. 7, 7 story is phenomenal. Everything with Cloud, the unreliable narrator, and the twist of him not actually like having stolen, not actually being the soldier, having stolen that story,
having stolen
from
Zack's identity and being a better character when he's being himself than trying to be what he thinks Zack is. Like, being more like Zack when he bees himself is so good.
That's not just the best, not just the best narrative of Final Fantasy. That is among the best narratives in all of storytelling.
Yeah.
So even though my favorite micro story with the Laguna, Julia, Rhinoa, Squall, thing is, while that's my favorite micro story, the macro story of 7 is nearly flawless.
Yeah, I agree.
9 is fine, in my opinion. I do like the existential questions that Vivi has and how it's dealt with. It's just, to be frank, I just think that the Terra and Gaia thing is kind of boring.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, and Zidane is just kind of whatever.
Yeah. He gets better, especially when he discovers that he is a Terran. That whole sequence, I think, is done very well, and he becomes a better person later in the story. But it just doesn't hold a candle. It's good, but it just doesn't hold a candle to 7 and 8.
It's really funny because, like, I think... Well, I assume you have a character section, right? I forgot your list.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's next.
Maybe we should just roll into that.
Yep. So, 7, 8, 9. Because
with the characters of 9, it's really weird. Because, like, I don't really care for, like, the two main characters of...
Right.
Zidane and
It's
Dagger.
not Garnet's fault, by the way.
It's not Garnet's fault. Yeah, it's the writer's fault. But, like, the ancillary characters, I don't even know if you could, like, Vivi's kind of like in between. Like, Vivi's definitely a main character, but isn't the main character. But, like, Vivi, Steiner, Kina, Freya, Amaranth,
Aiko.
I'm missing. Yeah, Aiko. Like, all of those characters are excellent.
Yeah.
And, like, I think Aiko is, as much as I don't like the little girl crushing on an older dude, I think it does mirror Zidane in a really, like, clever way. But even past that, I like Aiko. I like the conversation specifically Aiko has with Dagger, and honestly, I think that's one of the biggest disservices the story does, is that we don't get to see an entirely fleshed out Aiko and Dagger going to the water, not temple, whatever they were,
shrine
together. Yeah, the water shrine. Like, the fact that we don't get, like, a fully fleshed out sequence of that is so disappointing. Even past me wanting to see the other two character pairs, like Vivi and Steiner, it's like specifically the fact that Aiko and Dagger don't get their, like, girl time together and don't get to discuss something that isn't Zidane.
It's interesting because 9 mirrors 6 a lot in its problematic elements, but I will say this. 9 does it infinitely better, specifically with Aiko and Zidane, because unlike in 6, the infatuation is initiated by the child, and the adult does not has absolutely zero interest.
Yeah,
and it works because it teaches Zidane a valuable lesson, which is stop being a gross motherfucker.
Yeah, I just feel like
he legitimately gets better after that point.
Yeah, I don't think he gets better enough.
Yeah.
But maybe that's asking too much. But like, I think he could have had a more drastic change in his character after that.
Yeah.
And I think, like, it's weird. I feel like Aiko needs to be introduced earlier, but I don't know how you can do that with the way, like, the plot was laid out. Like, if you could have that happen earlier in the story, it would be nice.
There's a lot of criticism of both Aiko and Amaranth. Amaranth gets the most of the criticism because of how late they show up. A lot of people think that Amaranth is a nothing character. I don't really agree with that. I think he is decent in some ways, but he is too late in the plot for sure. Yeah, no, Amaranth, like, I think all of the characters and the like final sequence, not the final sequence, but like the sequence of all of the characters trying to help Zidane when Zidane has spent the entire story just helping other people and is refusing to now accept help himself. I think all of the characters do a really good job of mirroring Zidane in a really interesting way. It just sucks that Zidane sucks. Like, because Amaranth is the mirror to Zidane in terms of like strength. And the story of like Amaranth learning from Zidane is really good. And then Zidane throwing it back in his Amaranth throwing it back in Zidane's face as like the wake-up call, like, is also done really well. I don't know, maybe that's why Zidane has to suck, is because it makes all of the other characters better. You have to dim his light to make the others, and it is sort of a conscious choice too, because 8, they very explicitly, like Yoshinori Kitase has said this explicitly, 8 was intentionally designed for Squall and Rinoa to be the focus characters, and all of the other characters are toned down intentionally to keep the spotlight on the two mains. And I think 9 is probably a correction or overcorrection for that, where they wanted to make all of the side characters relevant, and in doing so they accidentally made the mains kind of suck. I feel like a really well done, because like, so 9 I think does do a good job for an ensemble cast of bouncing between the characters. I think it might overload the story, but I think if you could add Aiko, Freya, and Amaranth in earlier, it might be confusing to bounce to a character not yet related to the main plot, but like setting those characters up earlier, I think could do a lot. So let's keep this rolling. This is our new category, characters that we've sort of seamlessly transitioned into. We've talked a lot about 9.
I've talked about 9 characters.
8 and 7s.
Okay. So the 6 characters in 8 are great. I would say 8's 6 is better than 7's 9 characters. But the main 4 characters of 7 are better than the like main 2 characters of 8, in my opinion. Like the group dynamic of specifically Cloud, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett is perfect. And I like Squall. Like, I like Zal, Selphie, Irvine, and Kistis more than I like the 7 characters I didn't just list. But the 7 characters I like so much. Like those 4 characters. So it makes it hard to rate, and like I did just spend a bunch of time talking about how much I love the side characters of 9, and like Vivi's awesome. I don't think I need to explain why. I understand why everybody loves Vivi. That makes it hard to rank.
It's a small side tension. I'm just curious. Could you come up with a top 3 side characters? Like, so not Cloud, Squall, or Zidane. What would be your... and let's go ahead and even include not love interest. So not Tifa, Aerith, Rhinoa, or Garnet either. What would be your top 3 side characters
from 7, 8, 9? Okay. So Vivi, Barrett, and then I'd have to think about like Selphie or like Kina, or like I'd probably have to say Selphie. Because I like Kina more because Kina's goofy, less than like actual story reasons, but I love Selphie. So it probably would be...
Selphie's pretty goofy too. She loves trains.
Yeah, no, she's goofy, but she's like... She's an actual character who is goofy instead of Kina, who is the goofy character.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're specifically going to exclude Tifa, Aerith and not exclude Barrett, then I have to include Barrett on that list.
Yeah. But Vivi tops it for you, huh?
Yeah,
it's
probably.
Funny because everybody was like, oh, just wait till he gets to Vivi. Oh, wait, you know, everyone was talking that up. And it felt like early on you were kind of skeptical. Like your inclination was to be like, oh, I'm not gonna listen to the masses. And then you got to Vivi and you're like, holy shit, he's great.
Yeah, no, like Vivi, I was like, I knew everybody loved Vivi, and like I understand why. Yeah. Like, definitely the best part of like the main story of 9 for me was Vivi. Like, they do such a good job of like, I don't know how they made him so lovable. Actually, I know. Like, just like you feel bad for him so much. But he also like he learns throughout the story to like stick up for himself, and he learns his self-worth. And he like asks good questions, and he is just so like, I love how he's so supportive of everyone in the party, and everyone in the party is so supportive of Vivi. Like, Vivi's the only character who there's no like tension with. Like, it's the same effect that we were talking about with 5, where like in 5 all of the characters like just get along. Like, Vivi is that in 9. Like, the other characters might not get along with each other sometimes, like especially Zidane and Steiner, although the Zidane Steiner is just hilarious the entire time.
Oh yeah.
But like,
agreed.
I think I said this during my 9 playthrough, like, Vivi is the public's favorite character. Vivi is also the in-game character's favorite character.
It's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I would probably put, as far as side characters go, I think I do have to put Vivi first. I was like hoping to love Vivi because like I do love the like the Black Mage aesthetic of like, you can't see the face, just see the eyes. Yeah. Like I mean, I spent the entirety of 1 and 3. Okay, not the entirety of 3, but like most of 3, using the Black Mage sprite for a reason. So getting to Vivi and loving Vivi as much as everybody else feels really nice.
It's worth noting you have the Black Mage hat on your...
Yeah, no, like I just love the Black Mage aesthetic, so I'm really glad that it wasn't just a Vivi's adorable thing. It's like, no, Vivi is actually a well-written character.
Yeah.
And then Barrett's awesome. I'd probably put Barrett over Selfie, but yeah, I mean, even excluding remake, Barrett's awesome. Just like Barrett is simultaneously like so gentle with his daughter and then so I don't want to say serious, but intense when it comes to like everything else, like constantly getting into arguments with people questioning Avalanche. And so like there's definitely some anger, and we get to see that with was his name Dest? Dine, yeah. Like some of it is anger, but like he does truly believe he's making the world a better place by taking down Shinra, even if he has to question whether or not he's only doing it because of rage. Like I think that's actually good, like internal character struggle for him to be having. Not necessarily the whole maybe we're the bad guys dialogue towards the end of 7. Like I agree that was overdone.
Yeah, that's my least favorite thing in all of 7 is in my personal opinion.
It's the fact that they had to bring it up multiple times. They could have brought it up once and it would have been okay.
Well, Reeve, and it's specifically who's delivering it. Like Reeve giving a lecture on the ethics of stochastic terrorism is so absurd when he is an executive at a fascist multinational corporation. Is just absurd. In my opinion, Avalanche are 100% in the right, and Barrett's righteous fury.
They're not the ones who dropped Sector 7
deserved.
plate.
Right.
Yeah, I think like those kinds of questions are actually handled way better in 7 Remake, like specifically in that Yuffie side story we just played, where it's the other sectors of Avalanche being like, look at these messes these people are creating, rather than it being the main characters doing the like what if dance.
Yeah.
And actively seeing Yuffie and Sonon questioning Avalanche, being like, no, I think they might actually have a point, this Splinter Cell group that you're trying to distance yourself from. I think the conversation's way better there.
Yeah. So,
and I think, Sayo has a good point too. With 7 Remake, it's so much more clear that the bombs were not supposed to do the kind of damage they ended up indirectly causing. Yeah, like 7 Remake, it's like very explicit that the damage that is being done is Shinra trying to play it up.
Right.
Oh, I haven't actually done a rating for the characters yet, have I? Jesus.
Yeah, no. It's
what
so I'm difficult. Gathering from this is you think that this particular batch, 7, 8, and 9 as a collective, is by far the best collection of characters, and that makes it difficult to rank them.
I mean, there's also 14, but
it kind of sounds like you're leaning 7, 9, 8. Is that right?
I think I'm gonna say 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
Definitely 7 first. The reason why I would put 9 lower than 8 is because I like the side characters in 9, not the main characters in 9.
Yeah.
Whereas I do like all of the characters of 8. I would say like the best characters of 7 and 9 beat the best characters in 8, but like the aggregate characters in 8 beats both 7 and 9.
I think for me,
like the entire cast of characters,
kind of like,
and this is only talking about main characters. This is only talking about main characters. Yeah. Like,
yeah,
if we start including like Sephiroth and Genova and like Ultimacia, 8 Sid, Cypher. Like, once we include like the entire story's worth of characters, I might put 8 higher. But like, as far as the main cast goes for each of the games, like Squall, Tifa, Aerith, Barrett is too good.
I think a strong testament to the strength of the ensemble in 8 is how effectively cozy the home video during the credits is.
Oh, yeah. It's so good.
So, sounds like 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, but it's close. But
they're all good.
Yeah, they're all good. Like, obviously, we'll see. Like, I've already been surprised playing through these games. I would not be surprised if 7, 8, 9 are still the, like, 2 through 4 at the end of this.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, it's 8, 7, 9.
That's what I was expecting. Yeah.
Love 8's ensemble. Squall is my favorite protagonist in the entire series because I identify strongly with his particular form of autism. And as a kid, it was like that was the one that I was definitely able to most lose myself in the characterization. But I love the friendship in that one. And to be fair, there's a little bit of
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, I think part of the reason I like Cloud more than Squall is because I'm playing it as an adult.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There is a little bit of heavy lifting being done with imagination because it's like with 8, there's a lot that's left unsaid. There's a lot that you have to find yourself. And so it's like, to a certain extent, I'm kind of idealizing them a little bit, but...
Yeah, I think, like, the difference between Cloud and Cloud voice acted would be nothing compared to the difference between Squall and Squall voice acted. Like, I think the amount better Squall can get if he was actually voice acted, it is probably has the highest potential of any character. And that's saying something given he's already a pretty good character.
Yeah.
But like 8, like 9 had the, like, it happens so often in 9 that I started having to joke about it with how often there's like ... or like question mark exclamation point, whereas 8 just kind of didn't do that. So yeah, you're right. A lot of it you have to read into when there's those like deliberate pauses by characters, which is why we need voice acting for the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think a big one for me for this is that it doesn't feel like there's wasted space in 8.
Yes.
In the ensemble, it's like with 7.
That's the point I was trying to make.
I'm gonna get crucified for this.
That's the point I was trying to make. Is there's not wasted space in 8. I just think the peak of 7 is higher.
Yeah, I'm gonna get crucified for this, but like Vincent is not an interesting character at all.
No.
And people fucking love Vincent. And I don't like Sid in 7. He's an abusive jerk. And Kate Sith is a nothing character. And it's like there's a bunch of these characters, 9 as well. Like I'm less harsh when it comes to those.
You brought
like,
up Sid. I'm ready to lock in Sid 8 as second best Sid.
Oh,
not having played the other ones. Well, I mean, it's going to be hard for me to not. What was the joke? Your first Final Fantasy is your favorite. Like you you can't dethrone 14 for me. But like, no, I do think 8 Sid is phenomenal.
Yeah. Sid Kramer.
Yep.
The dork with a baddie goth girlfriend.
Yeah.
Good archetype.
Well,
yeah. So
I feel like she was forced into the baddie goth.
Yeah,
she
I do
adopted
have some criticisms. I do have some criticisms of 8, and that plays into that a little bit. In that 8 has a little bit of a conservative undertone that I don't appreciate, which is that Adea's good form is this like very covered up, matronly, reserved, submissive woman, and when she goes quote unquote bad, she gets a low cut V-neck and becomes seductive, and that's an unfortunate statement about women and sexuality that I think is bad, but it is in the subtext for sure.
I would definitely say 8 Remake should give us at least one scene of Sid and Adea before she becomes the sorceress, and make it more Adea is the one who wears the pants in the family, because and like it was Adea's idea to like start Seed. It was just Sid who was the one who was
Squall's idea, but
yeah. Like, well, yeah, it was kind of Squall's idea, but it's like Idea's the one telling Sid, "Hey, we got to do this," and Sid being the one to put it together because we don't know when Idea's going to snap.
Yeah,
get taken over by Ultimacia. Yeah, on paper it was Idea's idea. Like officially, what everybody else knows is that it was Idea's idea, but it was kind of incepted from
it was
the
universe's idea, because who knows?
Yep.
So, I agree. 7's main ensemble. The big issue for me with 7 is that a lot of the characterization that I love comes from Remake.
That's fair.
I think that the characterization in OG is good, particularly with Aerith.
Yeah,
but it's kind of thin.
I think the Cloud's interactions with Tifa versus Cloud's interactions with Aerith, like, do just read good even without the voice acting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I fell in love with Aerith in the original 7. I didn't need the voice acting for that.
Yeah. Enough to be devastated, even though you knew it was coming.
Yep. It's like, no, this is way too early in the story for this to be happening. That was the biggest, like, the surprise wasn't that it happened, it was where it happened.
How early it was, yeah.
Yeah. That was the devastating part, was having to deal with it throughout the entire game.
Yeah. It's like the exact halfway point.
Yep.
All right. So that brings us to the sort of cheat category of vibes, in that in both of the previous iterations, our vibes ranking has matched our overall ranking. So we'll see if that continues on here. As far as vibes go, like the general feel of playing the game, and or any meta narrative things, extraneous things. So like, for example, 6 got dinged really hard in vibes because of how problematic it was with sexual assault and harassment. So that would be included. Anything that's not strictly narrative, but like stuff that you're bringing into the narrative with you, but also just the general feel of the game. How do you rank 7, 8, and 9 on vibes?
So I want to start this by saying I like the cartoony aesthetic of 9 way more than you two. So that helps 9 for the vibes a lot, especially given how much I love Vivi and Kina, and the Chocobo Hot and Cold. Like, part of me thinks this is the first time that Vibes doesn't match my overall rating. Because I do kind of want to put 9 on the front, even if I think, like, I like 7 and 8 more. But, like, 9 felt way more cozy, whereas 7 and 8 felt way more serious. But
the aesthetic is doing a lot of heavy lifting here.
9 definitely gets the benefit of looking prettier, certainly. But 8's also the only one I played off stream. Part of that was for, like, mechanical reasons, as in the junction system's way too complicated. And it would have just been an hour straight of menuing on stream, which I don't think would have made a good stream. Yeah, I don't... Like...
Those 8 streams were awfully long.
Yeah, you don't have to keep convincing me to put 8 first when I was about to open my mouth and put 8 first. But no, it's kind of funny. I think this is like the reverse of, or like not the same order that I'm going to rate the games in overall. Because I do think I put it as 8, 9, 7, and the only dings 9's getting is the fact that I like was done with the game when it was done. Like once I was done with Chocobo Hot and Cold, it was like, okay, time to get the story over with. Is like the reason I'm putting 9 below 8. But like I feel like so much of what I liked about playing 7 was cutscenes. It wasn't playing the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Incredible story.
Incredible story. But I think overall, I have to give 8 the vibes. Because like 8, I enjoyed.
Oh no, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, 8 was the game I like enjoyed playing the whole way through. 9 had specific moments that I absolutely loved, but it was definitely very much hot and cold. And then
ironic.
7 was that's why I said it like that. 7 was definitely the cutscene show, where it was like when we got an hour-long cutscene, like that was the best part of 7. Whereas slowly learning 8 and like slowly piecing together why 8 is such a good game, I think is why I give it the vibes, and I'm sure you're happy about that. You already said you were.
I'm devastated.
Yeah. How could you put my favorite game as best in vibes? Although, since we're talking about vibes, I do have to bring up one thing about 8. And the fact that it almost destroyed my monitor.
Wait, what? What am I blanking on?
So I told you this. I don't know if I said this on stream, so Saya, this might be news to you. So remember how towards the beginning of 8, I was saying there was something flashing on screen that you guys couldn't see?
Oh, right.
So turns out that thing that was flashing was actually the flashing from the menu getting burnt into my monitor. Like my monitor would continue flashing in the spots where the cursor was after leaving the menu. And it would continue flickering after closing the game and restarting my computer and powering off and powering back on the monitor. Like, it was literally getting burned in. It went away, but remember how I said I spent like 2 hours straight in doing the junction system before the last one? No, not even an OLED. Yeah, I did that, and
my first question was going to be: is it plasma
on the screen? No,
wild.
I don't know why it was doing that. I think it was just how fast it was refreshing. Because it was flickering super fast, especially when I had speed up turned on. But yeah, no, after I did that 2-hour menuing session to get my build for the final part of the game, my computer was not doing good, or my monitor.
That's wild.
Yeah, it went away. But yeah, no, I was looking up prices of monitors for a hot minute there.
So
I thought it was just my monitor going bad. Because no, so when I realized, the moment when I realized that it wasn't just the game, it was like on my physical monitor, it had already started fading out to the point where I couldn't tell that it was still the hand. I thought it was a square of pixels that were just bad. And then I replayed, or like I went to bed, woke up, it was gone, and then did my off-stream session, and it was like really bad after that. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like getting burnt in and then just fading out is what's going on, which ended up being the truth. But yeah, no, that was fun. So
what you're saying
minus
is
points on vibe for that, but I'll still give it to 8.
So you're saying that 8 left an impression, huh?
Yes.
That's wild. I don't even know how that happens.
I don't either. Yeah, my screen's fine now.
Good.
Okay. Did we get your character rating?
Vibes.
Or vibes rating?
Vibes rating, 879.
Yep.
I adore 8. It is the one I vibe with the most. I can just sit and play for hours and hours and hours and hours. I love the world. I love the characters. I love the feeling of the junction system. Everything about it is just so cozy. 7 is very good. I like it a lot. The combat is a little like mediocre. It's fine. But I like the characters in the world and everything. I do like the feel of running through 9's world. 9 certainly has the most rich overworld experience. But 9 gets dinged for me a lot with how much I dislike Zidane, for sure. It is a similar thing as 6, handled infinitely better than 6.
Yeah.
But it is there is a reason why 9 is the only one of this series that I was unable to finish before you got to it, because I had to quit because I hated how much I really disliked Zidane.
Yeah.
It's funny because as a young man, I was less in tune with those kinds of things because I'd been indoctrinated into toxic masculinity, so it wasn't a problem. And I can definitely see why there are so many young men who like Zidane, because they don't understand the issues with this. But like being an adult who cares about that, it's so hard.
I feel like it was not bad enough where I could make fun of it and get through it that way, as opposed to 6, where it was just like completely inexcusable and ruined the play experience for me. But yeah, I can definitely understand, especially trying to replay 9 and having to go through it again. Like, yeah, especially not streaming, where like, I'm trying to maintain a positive attitude despite my inability to do it during 6.
The reason why I was able to finish 6 successfully was because I hadn't finished it in the past, and so I wanted to be able to have the full experience. With 9, I got a couple hours into it, and I said, you know what? I've already beaten this game multiple times when I was younger.
I don't need to do it
and I know
again.
I'm going to watch the entire Spring's entire playthrough. I do not need to do this, a sixth time or whatever versus a fifth.
Yeah, I totally get that. There's only a handful of games that I genuinely could play infinite times.
Yeah.
Which.
Alrighty.
Which? Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky. I can play infinite times. We were talking earlier about the moments that made me cry playing through the Final Fantasy games, and the ending of Explorers of Sky gets me every time. And that's why it was on my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky has this whole story about Dialga, the time Pokemon, basically losing control of time, and time basically goes chaotic, and basically it basically in the future the world does become the void, to put it in Final Fantasy terms. So you, the main character, are actually from the future, and you came back in time to fix time. But there's this whole thing where you get amnesia, so you don't actually remember who you are, why you're here, and that's like something you slowly piece together while playing the game. And the partner that you came back in time with is going through and stealing the time gears in order to bring them to Dialga to restore time before it completely falls apart. But nobody knows that's why he's doing it, so everybody thinks he's a bad guy because he's stealing all the time gears. So you slowly realize that the person you thought was the good guy is the bad guy, and the person you thought was the bad guy is the good guy. But the ending of the game, after going through all of that, is because we fixed the timeline, that like future that you're from no longer exists. So the end of the game is you watching your partner throughout the entire game, breaking down crying, having to return home without you, because you no longer like exist in this timeline. And that sequence gets me every time, of watching your partner have to make the journey back without you.
I was going to say that it was surprising that a Pokemon game would do that. Certainly a Mystery Dungeon side one. And then I remembered that there are few things that make me cry, few media that makes me cry as hard as like Mewtwo, Ash, and Pikachu in the first film. Yeah. So I take back any degrading things I was thinking about Pokemon.
To be fair, that's not actually how it ends, because Dialga also sees this and takes pity on your partner and brings you back. But that's after having to sit through like 3 minutes of this.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool that a spin-off game like that has that deep of a story. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, they're if you ever meet someone and they say their favorite Pokemon is like Wigglytuff or Grovyle, you know they're Pokemon Mystery Dungeon fans.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because the Wigglytuff's the like main guild leader and is kind of like a Kina-esque character. Who's just amazing. And then Grovyle is that partner you come back in time with, who you think's the villain, who's actually the good guy. So if anybody says Grovyle's their favorite Pokemon, it's because of that. Celebi is also questionable. Like, people like Celebi a lot, just even without Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, but there's definitely some amount of Celebi love because of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Because the Celebi character that helps you with navigating through time is also very, very good. Anyways, that was a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon side tangent.
Yeah.
I love that game.
If and when you
couldn't tell, I love that game based on my PNG tuber. Yeah.
If and when you stream that again, or if I decide to not be lazy and go back and watch a VOD, I'm going to have to pay more attention because, frankly, I did not know that game went that hard. So,
yep. I mean, it's definitely... there's a lot of, like, just playing the game.
yeah.
But no, once you actually get into the main part of the story, it does actually go pretty hard. And there's a non-zero chance that at some point I will end up doing another randomizer of it. Which wouldn't be the full experience because it'll be different Pokemon. Fuck, I was up there too.
No.
Oh wait, I didn't know those were there. Is that just to get back up without having to go all the way back down?
No, that's the main area.
No, this is on the other side.
So
I guess this is just not the side I usually go up.
Oh, you're right.
Nope. Except for we fell again. And then from here you can't jump far enough. No, okay. Okay, what's the next category? Let's continue after my
the overall
side tangent.
Yep. Yep, so this is the overall, taking everything into consideration.
Oh, so not the secret category. 7, 8, overall is before the secret categories.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into the secret afterwards.
So I need to put down the controller. So I have been unable to decide between 7 and 8. Certainly for ranking just these three, it's 7 or 8 and then 9. And part of the difficulty of this is trying to make my decision separate of remake.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wish I had played 8 and then remake instead of in the other order, specifically for this reason. I'm also glad I went directly into remake because it kept original 7 fresher in my mind. So it's like
definitely
a double-edged sword either way, but I don't know. Like I previously have told you, I think I'm putting 7 over it. I'm pretty sure I've also previously told you I'm putting 8 over it. Like at this moment, I want to lean towards 8 after the conversation we just had. And putting 8 vibes highest also makes me want to readjust that. Part of the reason why in the past I have said I was going to put 7 over 8 is because of the peak of the characters in 7 being so high. And also just like the like big reveal in the story being so good in 7. But like I think at this point the reason why I'm leaning more towards 8 is because the overall experience and like the average of 8 I think is better than the average of 7. So it's like really comes down to, do I value the entirety of the gaming experience or do I just value like the peak moments? And when I phrase it like that, I want to put 8 higher. So we'll say for the purpose of this recording, it's 8, 7, 9, but don't call me a hypocrite if I give a list later and I put 7 over it, 7 over 8 or vice versa. I do genuinely believe that regardless, once we get to having played all 16 games, 7 and 8 will be right next to each other. I don't think there's a way I could end up putting something in between them.
Yeah. Yeah, 7 and 8, in my opinion, are the peak of Final Fantasy. Outside of 14 feels like a cheat a little bit in that there's just so much more game there. I appreciate 14 but also it is a little cheaty.
Yeah, 14 Endwalker is my favorite, but it gets the benefit of 300 hours of knowing these characters and these characters like feeling like friends and like feeling like real people that a normal sized game doesn't get to have.
Yeah. And then 7 Remake and Rebirth are also in that kind of cheaty category, in that that they're the only Final Fantasies that have pure modern design philosophy behind them. It's like they feel like they're post growth. It's like everything up to 16 felt like they were still growing, like there was still progress being made in understanding how games are made in the first place. But we're like sort of getting to a postmodern era of video games that happened in film in like the 90s, where we now understand what all of the elements that go into a game, and now we can focus on honing perfection.
Yeah.
And 7 Remake and Rebirth are sort of in that category. They're like post growth, postmodern. And so like those would be my favorites: 7 Remake, Rebirth, and 14. 14 not because it's postmodern, but because of the sheer amount of stuff that's in it.
Yeah, I think Sam makes a great point. You can't divorce 14 from feeling like part of that living world.
Yeah,
like
totally.
As far as self-inserts go, like the Warrior of Light is a character you created, but like you feel like you're a part of this world.
Engineered,
and even given that you don't make choices in the story, like technically do, but only technically, but like you still feel like you've accomplished, and like the stuff you've done has mattered in 14 when it comes to the story.
Yeah. But setting aside those caveats, those 3 games in particular, for me, it's very clear that 7 and 8 are numbers 1 and 2. It could be 8 or 8-7, or it could be 7-8. But it's just like it's clear to me that they're a cut above the rest of the group.
I agree. I would say not like 7 and 8 are just like the best of the best. I've said this a couple times now. I do not fault anyone who says their favorite game is 9. Like, I don't think that's an unreasonable opinion to have. Like with some of the other games. It's like,
I feel the same thing with 10. We'll see that starting next week, but 10 is the other one in that category. Like really the discussion is 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. That's the true golden age. But yeah, totally agree. Anybody that says 9, I'm a little less sympathetic towards, just because of how distasteful I find elements of it. But for me, certainly 7, 8, and 10. Anybody
if you were a kid and grew up with that, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Oh, 9 was my number 3 until I played it as an adult.
Yeah.
So my ranking from like a kid's perspective was always 8, 7, 9. Those were the best. So
10 completely changed Seo's worldview as a kid.
10 is incredible.
I'm excited for it because I've so like recently the most common subject in my life of forced conversations upon me. I don't want to say forced conversations upon me, but like the listening to a friend geek out about something I have no idea about. Like recently that's been a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! It has been Final Fantasy X at least twice in my life.
Okay, nice.
Where I've, when I was doing Geek Squad installs, one of the people I was going installing with, his favorite game or one of his favorite games was Final Fantasy X. So like, I at this point don't really remember much of the details of that conversation. But I've been on the receiving end of somebody just completely gushing about 10, so I'm excited to get to it.
I'm very excited for Monday for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as overall rankings, yeah, 879.
I am a little surprised that you're choosing 8 right now, and I hope it's not necessarily the fact that I'm glazing it constantly. During this thing.
No, I do think there's it like the most difficult thing has been trying to separate my opinions of 7 Remake from 7. Because I did play them back to back and then played 8. So I'm like trying to compare 8 to a memory of 7 instead of my current opinion of 7. Because like playing Remake also elevates the experience of playing 7.
I just want to point out that saying a memory of 7 is really cool aesthetic statement.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
A memory.
No, you're absolutely right. I'm trying to compare 8 to the memory of 7.
Yeah. Yeah, to the surprise of absolutely no one, my overall ranking is 879.
Yeah. And
I'm
agreeing with you right now. Yeah.
I love 7. And if you add in Remake and Rebirth, 7 is the best above even 14, in my opinion. But just OG 7 by itself, for me, it's a very, very clear 879. But 8 and 7 are my numbers 1 and number 2, excepting 14.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and then if you're curious about total rankings, I think at this point, so like of 7 or of 1 through 9, it's 7 or not 7, 8 and then 7, and then like those are in their own tier together, and then like the next tier is like 5 and 9. Part of me still wants to put 5 above 9, but it's definitely close. It could probably be 9 over 5, but like I have obsessively thought about 5 for 2 months, so I'm gonna stick to my guns and say 5 over 9. But like that's the next tier, and then the like next tier after that is just 4, and then after that is 1 and 2, and then which I might do 2 and 1. I don't know. Those two are also close for me, and then 6 and 3.
Yep. Mine is similar.
Yeah, so like the ones that I said like in pairs together could be flip-flopped. I may flip-flop them later, but like those tiers are pretty set for like my opinions of the games.
Yeah. For me, very solid 875. Like I know for a fact that that's the order of the top. For me, it's questionable between 4 and 9. I'm not sure. I may flip-flop on those. Right now, I'm feeling 4 then 9, but it could be 9 then 4. Now that I'm getting a little bit of distance and I'm not like as heated about 9, I may be able to sit back and objectively be like, okay, yes, no, actually, this is an excellent game. And then after that, it's 2, 6, 1, 3.
Yeah.
6 and 2 could flip flop. Like I do like 2 and I don't like 6, but also I like the more modern design of 6. Like I'm definitely partial to newer games.
Honestly, the farther I get from the farther I get from 6, the more I just want to put it dead last. Because
just
6 is
for it.
Well, yeah, 6 is the only one that like I distinctly remember not enjoying playing. Like 3 was a nothing burger, but like I actively was not having fun playing 6. And I think that that has to be just the most damning thing. Yeah, Sayo has a good point.
Tentative
but like,
8, 7,
you
9.
could play 5 again, whereas I wouldn't ever see you playing 9 again outside of a remake. Yeah, and that's part of the reason why say 5/9, and as far as 9, the only argument is Vivi.
Mm-hmm. My favorite side character in 9 is actually Steiner.
That's reasonable.
I love Steiner.
Yeah, no, Steiner's great. The like subplot love story between Steiner and
The whole scene with the letter is so good.
It's so good. That entire scene was straight out of Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, 100%. Comedy of errors right there.
Yeah, no, like definitely 9 had great individual things. I think on the whole, like Zidane is It's unfortunate that Zidane's the main character.
It sort of one-upped 6 in that 6 has a similar thing where the individual moments of 6 can be very good. The opera in particular is like nothing like that had ever been seen before, and I think it still holds up to today. But it's like the whole that scene with the letter blows the opera scene out of the water. As far as like individual high points go.
Yeah.
So all right. So now we have a handful of
secret categories. Oh god.
Secret categories. Because these are the best games. The golden age, the best bunch. And there's just so much to talk about. We've covered basically everything except for these 5 things, which is pretty sweet. We kind of skirted around them. We talked about them a little bit, but I want to talk about
that makes me even more interested to see what these categories are. If I didn't accidentally
there's a couple
talk about them.
There's a couple we didn't even touch on at all, which is nice. So the first of the secret categories is the leading man. So protagonist. We have Cloud, Squall, and
this
Zidane.
one I did say some. So it's Cloud, Squall, Zidane.
Yeah.
Like, yep. I understand where you're coming from with Squall. But yep, I like Cloud.
Unfortunately, this would be a more interesting category if we had the privilege of being able to skip Zidane, who's kind of a nothing. And we're able to do Cloud, Squall, Tidus. I think that's a more interesting comparison.
We can talk about that in the next
Tidus
one too.
Yeah, he'll be in a different category. And we can talk about that later because I think Tidus is a much more interesting leading man than Zidane is.
Sayo, known 9 defender, wants to be on record of actively disliking Zidane.
Yeah.
Which I think encapsulates this section pretty well.
Yeah. So we have a lot of mythology here on this channel about Sakaguchi. We kind of use him as a punching bag, and I think it's justified. Everything that I've read suggests that Sakaguchi is the reason that some of these problematic things happened. I strongly feel, based on what I've read and based on my understanding, that Edgar and Zidane are self-inserts for Sakaguchi. And if that's the case, I want nothing to do with that man.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
That entire toxic male, it's not.
Yeah, no.
Especially when you put it next to Cloud and Squall, who are the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 7, 8, 9. So Cloud, Squall, Zidane. Mine's Squall, Cloud, Zidane, of course. But it's the real discussion is between Cloud and Squall for sure. And I don't fault anyone for putting Cloud over Squall. Squall is abrasive for sure. But for me, that's part of the allure.
I wouldn't say I'm not much of a music guy. I just am not capable of really processing music while playing a game. I kind of have to listen to it afterwards. Yeah. Or even more than that, I have trouble recognizing where specific music is from. I could go and look at the 8 soundtrack, which I forgot to do, and recognize the music, but without the name of where they are, I wouldn't know which one's which, and that makes it difficult. But I definitely need to go back through and listen to 8 soundtrack separately so I can recognize the name of everything and figure out, oh, these are the ones I actually love. Because I'm at that point in Silksong now, and I can tell you the Clockwork Core theme in Silksong is just one of the best video game songs. Atmospheric. How am I trying to say this? Clockwork Core and Silksong is awesome. That's what I'm trying to say.
For me, 8 is peak Uematsu. I think it's his magnum opus. But I think he did incredible work in both 7 and 9 as well as 10. I think 2 Xanark End from 10, which we'll hear literally the first minute of the stream on Monday, is perhaps his single best work. But there's so many good tracks. One Winged Angel. The main theme for 9 is Something Memories. Genova is great. Yeah.
The main theme, is that the one that plays on the title screen? Is that what you mean? Or is there a different theme?
For 9 is the theme that Garnet sings. Fragments of Memories, I think is what it's called. Something of Memories. So
yeah, I need to actually listen to that. I kind of got shafted on the game crashing.
Uematsu definitely ulted for 7, 8, and 9 for sure.
Yeah.
I do prefer, in terms of overall, I do prefer Soken to Uematsu, which might be heresy, but I think the rock soundtrack for 14 is the best 14's soundtrack.
14's is so good.
Video games, yeah. Especially for the Alliance raids, songs like In the Balance and In the Moonlight and all of those, they're just so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, 8 is the pinnacle of Uematsu. All right, so we have protagonists. Our second category is the opposite end of that spectrum, which is the primary antagonist. So for this one, it's specifically Sephiroth. Now for Sephiroth, we're talking OG. So it's in OG, the character we're actually dealing with for most of the story is actually Genova.
Yeah.
But because Genova doesn't really have a personality in herself, is my understanding, that she takes on the personality and there's actually a real spiritual connection. So she becomes partly that person. So Genova has a direct link to Coma Sephiroth. And so while it is technically the body of Genova, it is the spirit of Sephiroth the entire time. So Genova / Sephiroth, and we can just count that as being Sephiroth because there is a spiritual link there that that does that, versus 7 Remake where it's literal Sephiroth.
Yeah, this feels like a wisdom is knowing, or knowledge is knowing that the villain of 7 is Genova. Wisdom is knowing that it's Sephiroth.
Right,
kind of thing.
And then for 8, it's Ultimisia. People put Adia here, but Adia is actually easier to write off than Golbez, for example, because it is very explicit that Ultimisia has full control of Adia, while Adia is being the villain. So it is, people will often say that Ultimisia is a nothing villain because they don't realize that you're directly dealing with Ultimisia the entire time with Adia.
Yeah.
Or they forget that.
Yeah.
So Adia / Ultimisia, but it's actually Ultimisia the entire time.
I mean, you also get part of Ultimisia with Adele, too.
And Rhinoa as well, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So we have Ultimisia in 8, and then we have Kuja. We're not counting Necron because he's nothing. He's random final thing.
Kuja.
Yeah, the true villain of it is Kuja and his existential dread.
Yep.
So how would you rank the primary antagonists, Sephiroth, Ultimecia, and Kuja?
Well, it's 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sephiroth is among the best villains in media, period.
Yeah, no, just like
certainly the most recognizable.
Yeah, even without the knowing the story, like Sephiroth is just aesthetically one of it's just an amazing character design.
For sure.
So yeah,
I think they dropped the ball with Ultimecia a little bit. I think in a remake, if they made Ultimecia more sympathetic, she could be closer to like an Emmett Salk style villain.
Absolutely, and I mean I've made that point a couple times, even during this stream so far.
Yeah, and Kuja's fine.
Kuja's fine. Nah, Kuja's okay.
He's our
Kuja basically only has Twink going for him.
Yeah, and I mean that's I don't want to write that off,
but true.
No, but I do like. It is a little stereotypical now, like just looking at the length and breadth of fantasy. Like this has been done a lot, but I do like the transition of Kuja. Like I want to rule the world. And when he finds out he only has like a year left to live, because that's how he was biologically engineered, he's like, okay, no, fuck it. The universe is dead.
Yeah. If I can't have it, nobody
if I don't,
can.
Yeah, exactly. And I like that kind of villain motivation. I mentioned that I recently rewatched Tenet, and the main villain in that is exactly the same motivation.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. I think it's good.
Yep.
So I would be tempted to put Kuja over Ultimecia for that reason, because Ultimecia, the strength of Ultimecia, I think, is partly imagination. Is like a lot of the shortcomings in 8 are filled in by imagination. Like this could have been so good, and you can almost kind of headcanon a lot of it. It might be cheating a little bit, but like the potential of Ultimecia is through the roof compared to Kuja. But they both obviously fall short of Sephiroth.
Yeah. No, Sephiroth is in the conversation for best villain of all time. So
certainly, if you include remake, like the transition from OG Genova / Sephiroth to like Sephiroth Prime time traveling, like that is fucking mind blowing. So, okay, that leads us into a similar category, which is the secondary antagonist, the deuteragonist. A lot of people will argue with 7 that Sephiroth is not the main villain. They will argue that Hojo is in fact the main villain of the game. And while I am sympathetic to that, I think it's a little bit of sophistry. Hojo is interesting to consider on his own. Yes, most of the bad things that happen in the story are because of him. But we'll discuss that. So Hojo as the secondary antagonist.
He's the one who set the ball rolling, but
for sure,
Sephiroth is the one who aimed that ball towards a medium to small village.
Definitely. Cypher in Final Fantasy VIII, and then Brane in 9. And it's important to note that unlike some of our other villains, Brane was not fully mind controlled by Kuja. The text explicitly says that she was already a greedy bitch, and that Kuja just stoked the flames of that.
Yep. So I'm going to give this to Cypher, despite them dropping the ball with Cypher. I'll still give it to Cypher. Hojo is definitely like want a punch in the face, but I think Hojo is a lot better in remake, where they get to really play up him being just like immoral scientist. But yeah, I would do Cypher, then Hojo, then Brane.
Yeah, Bonnie's kind of a nothing. She's annoying.
Yeah, she's annoying. Like, the only interesting thing about Bronne is the fact that,
in my opinion,
Garnet tries to defend her, but, like, we don't... It's not fleshed out enough.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of sexism in there that, like...
Yeah.
They're like, fat woman is bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if we go based on potential, then Cypher is number one for
sure.
sure.
Absolutely.
I do list them for mine as reluctantly as Hojo, Cypher, and then Bronne. But that's primarily because they dropped the ball on Cypher. He could be the best secondary villain in the series, but they didn't follow through on it really.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the archetype of because 7 is very much a story about the environment and ecology. The notion of so I'm generally pretty critical when they have scientist villains because I'm very pro science. But the fact is that there are corporate scientists who have zero regard for ecology, and like that archetype of villain does exist in real life.
Yeah, I think like Hojo is significantly better than whatever the dude's name was in 8.
Oh, Odine. Yeah,
Odine. Yeah, like Hojo is like makes way more sense than Odine.
Yeah.
And part of that is because Hojo has the wrapper of being Shinra as a part of that.
Yeah. All right. Our fourth secret category.
And I think okay. I want to say one more thing about Hojo. I think the thing with Hojo is that so like Hojo is a part of Shinra, therefore he's evil. But you don't really like you don't really get that all of this is Hojo's fault until like late in the game. So it's hard to realize Hojo is the shitty guy other than he's the person we inserted in here for like being an asshole to Aerith when we go to break out Aerith. Like it's hard to realize in that moment that he's more than just the villain for this scene. He's the villain of the story kind of thing. And I think like Remake does that a lot better where like you just like instantly hate him in Remake. Whereas in original 7, it's like harder to like you don't piece that together until much later. So it feels almost random a lot of the times that he shows up between the Aerith rescue mission and like the end of the game, basically.
Yeah.
Like it feels a lot more random. Like seeing him on the beach just felt like so out of place. And I think if we were talking about this, including Remake, I would probably agree with you for Hojo. But without that, I'm still putting Cypher higher.
Yeah.
Certainly, we'll be
Cypher's
happy
potential
with
is through the roof.
I'm happy to say they fucked up one scene with Cypher rather than because like Cypher was interesting before that point.
Yeah. God, you have to... It is kind of annoying. So I like the Dark Souls style storytelling, like Silksong, etc. But it is so annoying that you can miss such important characterizations. Like, the realization that Cypher is copying Laguna is such a cool realization. Like, his gunblade stance is identical to the gunblade stance that Laguna used in his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the entire time Cypher has been idolizing Squall's father. So,
like, imagine if I just had this thought. Imagine if Like, it was more explicitly stated that he's been idolizing Squall's father. And then during that, like, ending sequence, Cypher realizes that Laguna was the one to trap Adele. And that was the reason why he, like, stops. Like, the combination of Raijin and Fujin, like, going against him.
And I'm
simultaneously
against my hero.
Simultaneously reveal that I've been actively working against my hero. Like, both of those together, you could write a very convincing Cypher stands down and, like, switches sides.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, that's not to say that it's all bad, because, like, I do think that the characterization of Cypher in the final FMV is quite good. One of my favorite moments in the entire game is him being a dipshit with Fujin and Raijin, but then the garden flying over and him looking at it longingly, and then also, like, smiling because he realizes, I wasn't really cut out for that in the end.
Yeah. No, that's why really I say it's literally just the one scene. It's not the entire thing. Yeah. It's just they needed to handle the little bit in the climax better.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah.
Our fourth category, secret category, is the romance. These are the first of the Final Fantasies to feature actual romance in the storylines that they didn't fumble very hard, because they tried in 6, but it did not work. And so these are for 7, the love triangle between Cloud, Tifa, and Aerith. And then in 8, the romance between Squall and Rinoa as a generational extension of Laguna and Julia. And then in 9, the romance between Garnet and Zidane.
Okay, so Garnet and Zidane last. How am I supposed to choose between the love triangle and Squall and Rinoa? How am I supposed to choose between that? Okay, as far as the actual romance, I'll give it to Squall and Rinoa. I do like the characters, Tifa and Aerith, more, but, like,
yep.
As in terms of the actual writing of the romance, the interactions that Squall and Rinoa have are, like, actually romantic rather than just flirty. Like, obviously there's romantic moments in 7 as well, but, like, a lot of it gets carried by the, like, more flirty stuff, whereas Squall and Rinoa actually have discussions about their emotions, not for each other, just their emotions in general. So that I will put Squall and Rinoa.
Yeah, I think first. 8 has the benefit of being intentionally designed to be a romance story, whereas 7 was not. It's remarkable how strong the love triangle in 7 is, considering that it was not a main focus of the writing.
Yeah, like, I think it does a really good job. Like, the realization that Cloud has been trying to pretend to be the person that Aerith was in a previous relationship with is crazy. But I also really like the way Tifa was handled in that, because it's clear that early in the story, Cloud is not actually interested in Tifa. It's only after that he started to realize that his memories are incorrect and he starts to actually acknowledge and become himself that he starts becoming interested in Tifa. I think that's incredibly well done, and it makes me okay with the love triangle more than I would usually be. Because I get annoyed with love triangles when the assumption is what's the M word I'm looking for?
Monogamy.
I was about to say mahogany. I was like, no, that's wood.
I don't know that. I don't feel like there really was a strong push for monogamy in 7 at all.
No,
really.
but
I think it's
not
especially
one
if
way
you
or the
include
other. But
remake.
like, I more so mean knowing the times and knowing that, like, the assumption would be he ends up with one or the other. More so than anything explicitly stated in the game was more my point.
Yeah. The one thing I will bring up is I'm in a soapbox just a tiny bit. There are a number of extremely obnoxious incel losers who are highly critical of both Aerith and Rinoa. Aerith because they think that Aerith belongs to Zack, and they call her derogatory names for flirting with Cloud because she quote-unquote belongs to Zack. And people who are critical of Rinoa for having slept with Cypher. I think the people who say those things are the scum of the planet and need to disappear.
I think the fact that Rinoa and Cypher were previously in a relationship both make Cypher a more interesting character and make Squall and Rinoa's relationship more interesting.
100%.
Like, it's
100%.
Because you constantly see Squall feeling like he's the only one who actually understands the decision Cypher's making.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, the dichotomy between the two is so good.
Yeah. Squall being the only person who understands and respects Cypher, despite all of the shitty things that Cypher has done to him. And him, it not even registering to him that Rinoa x Cypher could even possibly be an issue. The fact that people make it an issue is worse than stupid. It's like,
no, exactly
beyond that. Because the canonical main character, it doesn't even register to him as being an issue. So like, why are you making it one?
Yeah.
Because you're bringing baggage.
It's more of an interesting footnote in Rinoa's past than it is anything he would care about.
Yep.
No, yeah.
For me, 8 blows on the
this makes me really interested to see what happens with Zack being around again in Rebirth.
Ooh, we're gonna get to it. It's gonna be good.
I can't wait.
Once again, it would be nice if we could skip Zidane and Garnet. I actively dislike the Zidane and Garnet romance because Garnet is an intentionally flimsy character, which is the fault of the writers. Yeah, and the fact that she falls for somebody who repeatedly essayed and saged her is pretty gross.
Yep. I think rewriting the story, I think you could fix it for 9, but as is, it's 100%. Awful. And like, the story would definitely be served by having more Dagger without Zidane scenes.
Yeah. Once again, this category would be elevated by being able to disinclude 9 and instead jump and bring in Tidus and Yuna.
You really just need more Dagger and Aiko being summoners discussion, and the pressure they feel from that would make both of their characters a lot better. Because they do have something in common, and that's like part of the point, but then they don't actually explore that.
Yeah.
Like, Aiko's the only one still, like, in the castle after everything. Like, actually still hanging out with Dagger. And we don't get to see any of that too.
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the game is what I mean.
Right.
After, or like when she's about to become queen.
Yeah, it's particularly obnoxious because the reunion in the FMV at the end is so effective.
Yeah, but it's great.
In spite of the characterization.
Yeah. Like, Zidane showing up to be a character in Dagger's favorite story. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. But for me, the generational story of Laguna, Julia into Squall Rhinoa is an all-time for me.
Mm-hmm.
That is Shakespearean, in my opinion.
Yep.
Okay. So now we're into the most important secret one, our final secret category.
Oh, God.
The one that everybody's been waiting for.
Uh-oh.
We need to rank Chocobo theme songs.
Oh, no, don't make me do this without I need to look up the Chocobo theme songs.
So, I did it for you. Each of the games has 2 Chocobo themes in them, and I have YouTube videos prepared for all of them to help you
nice.
help remind you of which are which. So we're going to start with and I'm going to go ahead and post them just in the YouTube chat so people can follow along if they want to. The first one is Cinco de Chocobo, which is from Final Fantasy VII. This is the overworld riding a Chocobo theme.
Okay. Oh, I need to open this on. I need to copy and paste because it's trying to open in like OBS browser. So we'll load. There you go. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay. I'm just listening. I'm not playing them on. I should be able to do that. Okay.
Nope.
Although this is going to... Can you keep talking?
Yes, I'm talking.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I'm switching to desktop audio, so I didn't want to double up on you, and then also didn't want it to be weird. Okay, so we are playing. Okay, so that is the Riding a Chocobo theme.
Yep. The second one from 7 is Electric to Chocobo. This is the theme that plays when you get into a combat with a Chocobo for catching them.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Pretty similar, though.
They are pretty similar, yep.
Yep. Okay.
Number 3 is Mods to Chocobo, which is the riding a Chocobo in the overworld for Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay. I think this is the one I think it's this one. Oh, no, not this one. Okay. Yep. But yeah, no, I remember this one. Yeah. And then what's next?
The second one for 8 is Odeka de Chocobo, which is the Chocobo theme.
Yeah, this is the one I love.
It's like 8-bit.
Yeah, no, that's why I love it so much, is because of the 8-bit. Okay.
Then for Final Fantasy IX, we have Ukulele to Chocobo, which is the overworld writing Chocobo theme.
Okay. Yep.
And then the final one is Vamo alla Flamenco, which is the Chocobo Hot and Cold theme.
Yep. I feel like it's kind of unfair because I spent so much more time with Chocobos in 9.
It's true. Yeah. Yeah, we didn't actually do the Final Fantasy VIII on-off puzzles for the Chocobo Forests.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I give it to the ukulele. The 9 overworld.
So as an overall average, 987.
Probably, yeah. We'll go through and clicking on them again. Electric to Chocobo is also pretty good. Oh, someone has the random... Yeah, no, like, definitely the ukulele is the best of them. But I also do really like the Odeka.
Odeka Chocobo.
Yep. I like the 8-bit version of it as well. Yep.
Yeah. Bonus points for having baby chocobos. Good choice.
Yep.
Although I
Black
suppose
Mage Village
doesn't
and
have a baby chocobo.
Yeah, Black Mage Village in 9 is so good. Like, definitely, like, almost definitely my favorite area in that game is the Black Mage Village. Just like the story of the Black Mages getting their independence and then being scared of death and like not really understanding what death is and going with Kuja even though they don't want to because they're scared of death. And then talking to Vivi and realizing it's better to go back to the village than to try to cling to life that's not really a life with Kuja. And then they get the people from Terra, the
genomes.
Yeah, the genomes. Yeah, anyways.
As far as Chocobo themes, I do want to do a shout out. My favorite is Vamo alla Flamenco, the Chocobo Hot and Cold song. I could listen to that song forever.
I just don't really care for the flamenco.
Same, 987.
Yeah.
But based on what you were saying with Vivi, I do to its credit, what I'll say for 9 is that if we accept as the primary thesis of all Final Fantasy, the importance of hope beating out nihilism, and existential despair, 9 is sort of the most pure distillation of that story, of that theme in its story of any of them outside of Endwalker. I think Endwalker does everything that 9 does, just strictly better. But out of all of the rest of the stories, while that is always a theme in all of them, Nine is
the
very
most explicit.
Specifically,
yeah,
centered on that. Yeah,
yeah,
and it portrays
Nine explores it.
Dread so well.
9 explores it from multiple angles more than just like the villain, or like, because like 9 explores it from the perspective of the villain, from the perspective of Vivi, from the perspective of the black mages, from the perspective of the genomes. Like, it does it from a whole bunch of different angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And Walker's strictly better.
9 is... yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Medion versus, like, the Endsinger versus Necron. It's not close.
Oh, yeah, no. Exactly. But, like, 9 is really good, except for Zidane, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, 9 is definitely held back by the main character, it feels like.
I think the reason why I rank it lower is also partially because the chibi aesthetic doesn't sit with me as well. Like,
that's fair.
I acknowledge that 9, it's certainly the most fluid of them. It pushes the PS1 to the farthest extreme in terms of fluidity of animation. But for me personally, I think 8 looks so much better. And it's because I'm partial to the more realistic looking proportions.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, 14 does it the best, right? At least as far as, like, the thing I really appreciated with 9 is how well it integrates in the Chocobos and the Moogles. Like, they look like they belong there.
Oh god.
7 Remake does a really good job with the Chocobos, but less so with the Moogles.
We haven't seen a 7 Remake Moogle up close yet, have we?
I mean, we've seen Choco and Mod.
Oh god.
So I have kind of seen it, but yeah.
You're in for a treat. I think for me the pinnacle of the look of Moogles is probably 14.
Yeah.
The 14 Moogles just look really good.
They really do. They're like the right amount of cartoonish while still like fitting in with the more realistic aesthetic.
Although I will, to 9's credit, using them as the save system was brilliant.
Oh,
and the whole Mog Mail thing. So good.
Yeah.
So. Well done.
No, absolutely. Yeah, imagine like a 9 remake where the Moogles actually have different appearances other than the like special 2 for Artemisian and Stelskin.
Right.
Imagine if all the other Moogles had more appearances than just male or female. And you could like actually recognize them as individual characters for doing the like male side quests.
Oh, actually, I guess this is a nice place to wrap up. How do you feel about 8 supplanting Moogles for Moombas? That was an interesting choice.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't necessarily dislike the Moombas, but I was definitely expecting to see Moogles at some point.
Yeah. It's cute. Like, I like what they did with it, where they're the end of the life. They're like the ultimate Nirvana end of the life cycle of the Shumi.
Yeah.
And
from down there,
I really like that despite the fact that they don't have proper vocal cords to speak, because they love Laguna so much, they learned how to speak just his name.
Yeah.
Oh, you're so close. You only have 2 jumps left.
Oh god. I'm gonna fuck this one up. Can I fit underneath, or do I have to jump out on the edge?
You need to go a little bit farther out. So like your goal should be to jump to the last like quarter of the beam. It doesn't have to be all the way to the end, but
yeah, then it's just perfect. That.
Yeah, up to that one and then up to the top.
I'm on the top of it.
Got there. Hell yeah. Congratulations.
Okay, how do I get...
Just careful not to jump off the side, but you have to go
that's what I'm trying to do.
To get to the vista. I think it's on the left side, though. Or maybe on the back.
Oh, there's... Yep, here we go.
Yeah, it's on the back.
Okay, so yeah, like right here. Oh, do I have to... And then
like sidle along.
Jump from here. Oh no, okay, there we go. It just wasn't... Okay, so we're here. And we can unhide...
Slash lookout.
Yep. Unhide the UI so I can slash lookout. Okay, and then I also have to jump down, right?
Yeah, this one's the hardest one to get. It's unlikely that you'll be able to get it first try. But you need to try and land on the mailbox. And there's a very specific strategy for doing it. But it is tricky.
It's this, right? Where I have my mouse on?
No. So what you... Yeah, it's going to be below. It's the one closest. So if you arch a little bit more so you can see the closer ones. Up and to the left from where you were pointing. So, straight out, down, that one. That's where you want to land.
This one,
the one that you had your cursor on before. Yeah, that one.
This one in the corner?
And so that one, yep. That's it. And so the strategy is to, you see this left green railing that's right next to you?
Yeah.
If you walk up that green railing to the very back, to the farthest you can go back, the strategy is you first sprint, run down, and then you jump at the 3/4 mark. So like with only a quarter left of the edge, that's the strat for it. But it's very, very hard.
3/4, like between this and this,
your cursor was,
or where my cursor is, like at here.
It's like right before that little brown thingy.
Okay, so like right here.
Yeah, a little bit close. Yeah, like right about there.
Okay, so like right before it.
Yeah, but it's very, very hard to hit it.
But do that with sprint?
Yep.
Oh, the angle! I had the right timing, just the wrong angle.
Oh, it was so close. It was so close. Damn. Congrats on getting the top one, though.
Yeah, damn. Guess we'll have to come back for this one next time.
For sure.
Any?
That's a good way to wrap it up, though.
Yeah, nice. Any closing remarks?
Final Fantasy VIII rocks my socks. I love that game.
It was good.
7 and 9 are also good.
Yeah.
So excited to get to 10. That's my ending.
Me too. Got that next week.
Also
excited to get to Rebirth. Oh, God. Yeah. How do I not just start Rebirth next week instead?
I'm a little worried because if you do 10 into Rebirth, you have completed all of the good Final Fantasies. And everything from there is pretty downhill.
Who knows? Maybe we'll like 11.
No, I think we'll like 11. I'll also shout out, I think 12 is the most underrated Final Fantasy by an enormous margin.
Interesting.
And so I like 12 a lot. It has flaws. 13, I think, is underrated, but still pretty bad. 14 is obviously great. 15, I think, is also underrated. 16 is fine. It's just like, it's not that any of them are bad, other than like 13 is kind of bad, but like they're all just mediocre, and it's unfortunate because we're experiencing peak right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Damn.
10 into Rebirth is going to be something.
Can't believe I'm through the first 9 of them. It's been a
crazy
long journey. Yep. But Rebirth.
That's tough.
Well, if they're going to announce the next one at the Game Awards, I feel like I have to play Rebirth now.
In my head, I think that 10 into Rebirth sounds correct to me. But also, goddamn, Rebirth is a trip.
Yep.
Also, keep in mind that you'll likely spend a month on Rebirth, so versus almost certainly 2 weeks on 10.
Yep.
So.
Yep. You know what we might do? Be painful. But I might, instead of playing like a month straight of 11, what if I bounce back and forth between 11 and Rebirth? How terrible does that sound? It doesn't sound like a good idea now that I've said it out loud.
Yeah, I think multiple things. One, it's pretty unfair to 11.
Yeah.
But also, I think
fuck it. We're doing
like, maximizing
8-hour streams of Rebirth until we beat it next week.
That's fair.
You said 100 hours? Okay, so we got to play 20 hours a day of Rebirth in order to beat it.
Jesus.
In a week.
Oof.
Oof.
No, that's not happening.
Nope.
But, you know, still having Remake kind of fresh in your head, that's probably... I want to say 10 first, but Rebirth first is probably correct.
I need to buy Rebirth. Oh, fuck. Those Steam sales probably end. Did they end today? I think it was I need to look at that. I need to, like, actually get Rebirth.
Did you not have Rebirth?
No, I don't have Rebirth, and I don't have 16. I have all the other games, though. Let me pull up Steam real quick.
Yeah, it's not on sale any longer. But, no. The Black Friday sale ended, like, yesterday.
Yeah.
So, if you write to Steam, if you send them an email and say that you accidentally missed it, they will likely discount it for you.
Yeah, this just sounds like an excuse to play 10 now.
That's fair.
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. Any closing thoughts on 7 or 7, 8, 9? I don't think so. I think I've said everything. They're good games.
I mean, we spent 3 hours on this review, so it was pretty thorough.
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and end stream here. And I will be here for 10 next week. You guys have a go on.
Later.